Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turner. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind?
Hello, welcome to Humankind. If you are unaware of this game, it's very, very similar to Sid Meier's Civilization. If you are unfamiliar with that, I'm so sorry. The only thing I can reference it to be anything close would be Oxygen Not Included. It's nothing like Oxygen Included, but it's like Oxygen Not Included is the form of it is a management type game. Now, I know Oxygen Not Included is the first management type game you've seen on the channel. That's, good, I guess. Either way, I try to focus mostly on RPG, JRPG kind of things, because it's what I'm playing mostly. But I also do thoroughly enjoy these types of games. Now, I think up here is an option to play with friends, like multiplayer. You have like public match, spectators, whatnot. I'm not going to be doing any of that because I don't have anybody to play this game with at 2:15 in the morning. I typically don't have anybody up at this point that is willing to play something like this, at least. So, I've already played a handful of this to get a feel for it. My first attempt, I got destroyed. Like, they came over, they took my capital, which in this game, it's different than Sid Meier's because when they take your capital in this, you get a different capital. I think your second city you make is your new capital from that point, which is interesting. Like, I like that. That's cool. We have the world size on huge. It's normal. So, game will be paced over 300 turns, which, that's a lot. 600's a lot. 450, 150, and then 75. I don't want to do Blitz. I'm going to stick with the normal. I'm going to stick with the 300. That is so inopportune. Thank you. Go away. I'm going to stick with the normal. I don't really foresee this being like a series. Kind of like the Stranded Deep video I did. It's not a series because I'd like to play that with people, but I don't have anybody to play that with. The people that would willing to play a game similar to Stranded Deep preferred Raft, which I don't have at the moment. So there's a possibility that Raft or maybe Icarus in the future. For now, we're gonna settle with Humankind, Oxygen Not Included. I'm not going to like focus heavily on Oxygen Not Included unless y'all want to, and if y'all want to see more of this, then this will also be I guess, sort of a series if you would want it to be.
Another day, another dawn of humankind. It is time to finish breakfast, give a rousing speech, and leap into the future.
This game has been on my wish list, or like my watch list, for a lengthy amount of time. It does play differently. Um, this is also the first time I'm playing a Civilization type game on a computer instead of a like 360 or Xbox One. So the controls definitely took me a bit. But what we're going to do now is over here in the top right, you see these influence right here. We need influence to make outpost. And then once you gain enough influence, you can gain the outpost to a city. And then you can also merge cities into other cities. So instead of having like, let's say, for example, if we wanted to go right here, we could have a city here and where they originally were, and over this dotted white line border, we could just merge the two cities together. Ooh, this is cool. What is this? A geyser? Is it just a geyser? I guess it's just a geyser. Now, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, but in Civilization, you didn't have to discover the wheel. I think you were in an era where you already had the wheel, and it was like writing and language and like so they're on after the wheel. But this one, you can actually get the wheel. Maybe not always, but it's there. It's a thing. What is that dotted line doing? What is... Oh! Can I like...
I don't see anything.
I don't know what I hit. I'm so sorry. Are y'all okay? Probably not. Oh, I can drag? I don't... I've only played a bit of this,
What's over
but
there?
I can't say that I've played like a lot.
What's over there?
And then I end my turn again to advance. Now, see, right here, it says cannot be done without a minimum of 5 influence. So, I need to find something, which this should do. And then once I have them discover this shiny thing right here, that should gain some form of influence. And if that's not, this one right here definitely will. This one right here. With the very tiny people.
Even those who have disappeared may have
Yep.
done something very clever.
Alright, so now we can do an outpost. Outposts exploit food and gears for industry and can be turned into cities when you reach the ancient era. Take a bit of time to choose the best possible spot, both strategically and economically. So, this right here would be more optimal because we would do 19 food and 10 gears or industry. But if you wanted, you could say, nah, fam, I'm gonna go and place it like directly right here on this hot springs looking thing. But we're going to just, gonna place it there. They're gonna do their thing. Now, in the bottom right, you see this. We have an urgent affair, which whenever you try to end your turn, it'll prompt. So, seed of an idea. Yesterday the tribe came across a vast tract of wild grain. The stalks swaying in the breeze like the wind playing over golden waters. The ground down grain could feed the tribe twice over, but one of the tribe elders had another idea. Instead of pounding the seed into flour, she suggests planting half of them, so the grass may return next summer. It is a curious idea, at odds with the nomadic life, but perhaps a harbinger of the future. What should we do? So we could, like, say, plant We must begin to harness the natural rhythm of the world to seek better life. So it would hurt our domestication research costs. Well, it wouldn't hurt. It would improve. But I've never really looked at this because I always went over here and saw, oh, a plus, that's good. The minus is bad. Plant's actually better if you're going for more of a research route. The grind is who says this bounty will still be here next summer. The spirits have blessed us today, and we shall not pass up this gift. But we're gonna plant. It could be good. And some of those, like affair urgent things that we just did, some of those will have consequences and be like a multitude series of things. So if you like, one of them was to have a researcher from the tribe come over, or like a city or whatever, come over and like, hey, I have an idea that we could potentially do this thing. If you grant it, you would gain something beneficial, and if you declined it, you would like spiral down and like lose an entire city or something. I don't know if it's like that specifically. I didn't go down that bad of a route. Oh, I have an idle army. Yeah, see, it won't let you progress either if you have an army idle. So if there's something that you forgot to do, or you're like, I think I forgot to do something, I'm not sure, I'll end my turn anyways, this won't let you end your turn. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you what you have. So then you just go up here and station. So now this army is going to hold here. And now we can end the turn. And then we can end the turn again. It'll do the little buffer.
Means a first step into a new territory and a new extension of your empire's power, but also a new vulnerability.
I forgot what I was going to say. A world aflame. We just built this outpost. How do you already have flames? What the hell did you do? In the distance, a thin cord of smoke cuts up into the clear blue skies. Fire. Calling a few tribesmen, you run closer. The smell of cindered bark and burning pine, growing stronger with each footfall. You spy dancing flames, and suddenly find yourself on the edge of a settlement on fire. Many of the structures are ablaze, but even with the smoke and flames, you can see these abdos are marvels of craftsmanship. You are about to direct your men to put out the fires with loose soil. Will you see short-shadowed figures running away? Youths, you could become part of your tribe if you give chase now. Or they could become part of your tribes if you give chase now. But that would mean losing the secrets of construction. What is your choice? Now, we could... Raw numbers will help us more than building techniques at this time. Technically, that's true. Because if you have more people, then you can build more things. Fair. But if you extinguish, understanding how to build stronger settlements will be vital in the future. That could not be more true. So we're going to go with this. And end of the turn. Oh, we gained 1 population. Also, I've noticed if you click on this, like this highlighted hexagon looking thingy, pentagon, I don't know what this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, hexagon. Yeah. It actually pulls up your like little people. You have to click on the very tiny like circle, like this little guy right here. You click on that, and it pulls up your city. So we have tribe. Can't do anything without the 5 influence. Can't do anything like that. So what we're gonna do is
Delicious.
walk right over
Though
here,
next time, it might be better if you washed it first.
and we'll walk over here. We'll end the turn because there'll need to be another turn. We'll end that turn so they can go over here. Okay, so hey, we gained 5 influence. Now let's go over here. There's some horses, or like animals of a variety. Deer, horse, deer or horse, or both. I don't know. They're too tiny for me to notice, like, in detail. That's a mammoth. Mammoths are scary. Alright, so ancient encampment, and then we'll make our way back to this. End the turn. We now have 10 influence. And we need nothing. We just need to progress our era. So we need a total of 5 animals. We could do that. Or we could do knowledge and population. I prefer knowledge over anything else. I don't typically care too much for violence in these games. Mostly because I lose. I'm like not really great with military power. Your scout comes to you breathless from exertion. Between gasps, he tells you that he spied another tribe not far ahead. He leads you on, then after giving a stop signal, you drop to your bellies and crawl forward in the bush. Ahead, a young woman, no more than 13, Summers, is leading a ceremony. Her audience, a dozen or so equally young or younger tribesmen. Many are crying, and when you see the bodies laid out, you understand that they are in mourning. You know what you must do. There's the withdrawal. They could be sick or cursed. We will make haste from this place. That's possible, or it could, be starvation. But these children need care and shelter. We will be their guardians, and they will become our tribe. So, I'm gonna go with this one because, it literally could just be hunger. So, that's the one that we do. So now we have these peoples. We have them do this. And let's send over here. Oh, most wanders thing. Why can't we get y'all together? So, we now get to choose a new culture for our era. And we have 15 stars, so we can make the city or the outpost a city. So, normally, I ran Zhao or Zo strictly this. Scientifically, they did phenomenal. Like, my science was on point. Maybe not the strongest science, but science was good. Military power, however, judge not an empire by the strength of its armies. Yeah, my military power sucked. Like, it was non-existent. So, for this, we're not going to go with them. Just because y'all probably don't want to see just research for eons. Y'all probably want to see, like, other things. So, we could... I don't normally do anything very ocean-based or water-based. So all that war and all that was and is and will be is unwritten, is written in the stars. I like this. We'll gain, it's like farm oriented. We lose stability, so it's not the most stable thing, but it's not terrible. I think we'll take this one. We'll go with this one. So we now confirm this, and we get a little scene.
Challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay. As far as markets go, we know the Olmec traded their marvelously crafted goods of jade, but we know little more. This is your story to write.
The first city can be founded. Well, we only have the one city. So, first city, now able to build a capital for the empire. It's like the outpost that we see fit. And then we get to make a city, so
It is
boom.
not just a bunch of buildings. It is warmth, protection, and, praise the gods, a bit of privacy.
So with this, we also have one of two. We are capped at 2 cities. You can obviously have more than the 2 cities, but stability, like financially, food-wise, everything else in between, you would struggle more or less on with multiple cities, because I had one where it's like I was only supposed to, like, my cap was 3, but I had like 6 or 9 or something like that. I had a lot more than what I needed. And I did okay. I mean, I struggled a lot, but I did okay. I lost because I didn't have an army, but ain't nobody got time for that. So what I think we're gonna do is have one of these peoples go, maybe yeah, over here, over this way. Oh yes, and I'm going to try to claim this area. So you people, I want to have come back. Now we get science or technology, and we can like plant some stuff. So this is a Olmec head, towering many spans higher than man. The statue imbues every soul who stands before them with powerful conviction. Don't exactly know what that is, but it looks good, so we'll slap it there. And then do some of that there. So you can also queue stuff. So in 8 turns, this will be done. And then however many turns this takes, this initial is 5. So the 8 plus 5. And then, you know, carry on, so forth. We can also do some pottery workshops. We can hold a feast. We can make more scouts. They're lightly armed. Tasked with mostly like scout related things. And then we can do our research where we can do domestication, scout riders, and animal barns. Fortifications for like walls and stuff, and have a warrior. And then carpentry where you get the javelin thrower, and lumber yards. Now, I think domestication would be good, but we can also swap this a little bit where we could do city defense and then domestication. So the domestication will now be first, city defense is now going to be second. So once this is done, it'll automatically start researching this. And then just end the turn, you watch the things do the things. You watch your peoples do people things. Make their way to people places. And you need 61 influence now to claim a territory. Alright, now we have this, so we need 160 influence to convert this. Now, this is what I was talking about with the cultural blitz. I can just convert that, and now it is all mine. And then this doesn't really change, but it does give me influence. So now, boom. And once you get these era stars over here in the top left, once you get this leveled up, you advance into the next era. So one of the expansionist stars has been earned. So this is a way that you can check for your stuffs. This is for scientist stars. So once we gain like technologies, we'll gain stars for this. This is for amount of money. This is population. This is war. Building for just constructions in general. So yeah, you know, good stuff. Now that this is a city, I say let's get a form of food. And we're good. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, okay, you're good. Alright, so you can see the little construction going on. Y'all stay there. Empire Foundation. By what right do we rule? Finding myths or legitimacy? So, natural right, we claim inherent dominion over the land and beasts. This is more like social, more moderation, or divine mandate. Our supremacy is ordained, for we are the chosen ones, which leads us towards traditional. So, emphasize doing things as they have always been done, repudiate or that word, new ways. So it's, I mean, we would gain faith, but I like the influence.
Why was this even a question? Let's keep it simple. We've been here. It's our place.
Alright, so city defense researched. Let's go ahead. Oh, this lets us clear a forest, which I don't think we need right now. So let's do irrigation and then calendar so that we get calendar, then irrigation. And now we'll click this. Let's do some pottery. And I guess we can do that. You can have multiple cities help you build the wonder, which is always a good thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you? Gemstone or gold? I don't really care for the gold right now. A carcass of riches. Wild animals in the forest around San Lorenzo have always been hunted for their meat. But now, an inventor in the city believes the carcasses can be put to other uses too. They believe the carcass can be harvested for their military, decorative, or substance applications. How should the bodies be used? Materialize. Everything from the horn to the hoof will be used to better equip our soldiers. Harvest with correct proportions. Every last morsel of the carcass can be eaten or help raise crops. Barter. Allowing exchange of soft leathers to ornamental antlers to medicinal plants or medicinal parts will generate wealth. I like discipline, so we'll go barter. Keep an eye on things. We can go here. We can look at this. Legitimacy. Codified laws. Laws will be debated, classified, and codified for perpetuity. So that puts us towards the light, I think. And this puts us towards the candle. Minus 20% on attach outpost cost, and minus 20% on absorb cost city. And customary laws, historical precedents and traditions serve as the basis for our judgment. I don't know what that means. Precedents? We'll just go with this
Yes,
one.
Imagine. Once you discover writing, you can literally throw the book at them.
Yeah. Alright, we've gained our 4th star of eras. Now, with military power spread over several regiments, it is time to decide the nature of the soldiers who compose your armies. Conscripts. Conscripted warriors will save us the cost of raising soldiers from the crib. Okay. Professional soldiers. Forged from the youngest age, professional warriors will give us stronger armies. Plus 10 to stability to all cities. Okay, so they're the same. I'll go with
It
this
does
one.
seem logical that people shouldn't have to do a job unless they want to.
Yep. I agree with that. We now have the wheel. Thank you. Now. And. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. We're not doing too bad so far. The struggling for dominion. The capital is the empire's true seat of power. But now other cities with energetic populace rise to prominence. Their leaders and other influential figures want sway over the empire's affairs. and the question of who wields power must be answered. Alright, so, how do we lead? We could do a small council, a handful of the wisest heads to give good counsel. That gives us +1 to the max city cap, meaning we could have a third city. Or Atrach, the absolute will of the leader shall not be diluted. This one just kind of makes more sense.
Most problems eventually yield to the onslaught of more brains.
So now with these doodly dads, because we can now have a third city, I say we come down here to Oasis. So we got starvation. The pecking of poultry, pecking of poultry. The art of divination spreads across the empire. Priests or divination. The art of something spreads across the empire. Priests search for messages from the gods and animals in trail, the flights of birds, the wheeling of the stars, in holy decorations and elsewhere. Now, however, the practices have become so commonplace, so bizarre, that the whole empire is sliding towards chaotic superstition. Even the eating patterns of chicken are being interpreted by military commanders. What to do? How about we just reason? I don't want to, like, do the forbid thing. I don't want to embrace it. Because, I'd rather learn. Because that makes marginally more sense. Hey, we got an Era Star. I don't know from what, but we got it. Alright, now we get to go into a classical era. What do you do? Oh, you are a hella science. We're going to go Greek. We're changing our way to Greek now. Okay, so we don't want a naval base here because this does absolutely nothing. I mean, it might not hurt, you know, if there's people here, there's a boat here, just blue, 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 blue. Maybe, maybe not.
As urban centers grow, both ideas and sewage are generated at a record pace. Arts and sciences flourish as military tactics and mathematical equations become as coveted as physical goods. Empires struggle to control these intangibles, however, as some might trouble their stability. New ideas lead to new strategies, and I'm sure the Greeks will spend time arguing the merits of them all.
You get to see all the houses change. I think depending on the era or the style, like what we chose, like we went Greek from whatever we were before. Then the houses change whenever you pick a different, like, type of thing. So now we are Greek-ish. And we still have, we now have 12 turns. It went from 10 to
Time
to
for your first battle? I bet you're absolutely dying to see how your fighters handle themselves.
Our side is weaker overall. We're on turn 59 so far out of, what was it, 300? I don't know what that was, for I accidentally clicked. The flooded lands. An unrelenting deluge of rainfall lashes down upon the great city of San Lorenzo and the surrounding lands. If the rain don't stop soon, the banks of the great river that threads through the city will burst, flooding the adjacent quarters. With limited time and resources, the choice are stark. What do you do? Gamble. Leave it up to fate. Maybe the rain will cease. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Adapt. Limited adaptations should negate the biggest risks, and the rain might relent in any case. Protect. An expensive dike around San Lorenzo will ensure the city is protected from any flood threats, because it protects. from any flood threat. That's so worth. I don't care what you are, it's worth.
An enormous leap forward, from mundane tallies of crops to recording the wisdom of sages. Humankind now wields the most powerful tool of all.
No, go back. I only moved it so that they could see the things.
Now, things that one generation
World need
learned can be
accomplished.
passed to the next, via something more reliable than campfire stories.
I mean, lol. Scout Rider. A warrior. It'd been nice to get another war. There we go. Okay, cool. Oh, lucky! Fortune favors you. The skies above grew darker and darker, and the Dolge, like a sea, began tipped upon a city. But then suddenly the clouds parted and the rains relented. Days of sunshine followed, and the threat of floods are no more. The ground's a little wetter, and people will not forget, but otherwise life is normal again. That's great. We gained fishing. And now we've gained another person, so we have this, we've got these.
No fear, no mercy.
No fear, no mercy. It was a draw. Everybody's dead. Everybody's drawed now. That's fine. The threat's gone. The priests of nature. The large number of farming districts has led to a blossoming of knowledge of plants for health, sustenance, and medicine. With the empire at peace and stable enough to support such a move, never before has there been a better time to make official the stats of your most learned brothers and sisters. Do you wish to found such a caste? Reject. We should use the time and peace of plenty to instead focus on better trained armies. No. Established. It seems prudent to have wise men and women who know crops among our population. Absolutely.
You're at the end of an ideology axis? Well, there's
Oh.
something to be said for unswerving dedication to a cause.
Okay. I'm only in the classical era. Not like I'm doing a lot. That is a warrior. Warrior will stay there for the time being. Alright, animal magic. As the harvest season draws close, the common folk are worried. With many farms scattered across the empire, last year an infestation of rodents, largely rats and mice, plundered Garnies. However, rumors have it that an enterprising village mitigated the problem by using cats. Or mitigated the problem using cats. But you also know that sailors use a new kind of predator named a ferret. Which of them will you employ officially? I'd rather have a ferret over a cat. That's all.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of it as being focused, yes? Very goal-oriented.
Okay, fair enough. So, this is the game. This is Humankind. It's very civilization, like, esque, I guess. This is it. You do this, you build your military, you build your research, your culture, or faith. You build all that jazz, and you just go to town with it. But yeah, that is this. So, let me know what y'all think of this.